Hey, how's it going everyone? Friendly Tree here with some more tech talk. To no surprise, today I want to talk about Nina. In particular, I want to talk about her qcf+4 and I want to talk about her mid-screen cross-up. So this is something that's come up in Tekken 7 that a lot of people were very interested in. I mean, I guess it's pretty complicated tech. And you can see a couple of high-level players use it from time to time. There are some special conditions that need to be met, and fortunately there is a bit of a trick to help it be a little bit easier for you. So I hope you enjoy this video. Let's see how we go. See what I'm doing. We are going to select Nina, and instead of Ling we're actually going to go against Akuma today. Now that's not because there's any difference doing it against Akuma or Ling or anything, but it's because Akuma has one move that just makes something I want to demonstrate a bit easier. As far as I'm aware, this setup works on any character, so you don't have to worry testing it. You don't have to worry, I think, oh, it won't work on Ling, or oh, it won't work on the bears. It should work on all of them as long as you set it up properly. Okay, let's clean up the screen a bit. So we don't need the health gauge, we're not worried about damage. Likewise your attack info. Got the command history on. Sorry, doing some training. Side rolling. Okay, so one thing I do need to point out is that the opponent has to tick left for this to work. So as they fall to the ground, they tick left. It's the only way this combo will work, or this Oki will work. Let's look at qcf+4 itself, okay? So qcf+4. So it's an advancing knee, a mid. It's part of a 3-hit string, qcf+4 2 3. Mid high high. If we go qcf+4 2, it's a launcher. So that's handy to know. It's also very good for wall carry. I mean, as you saw there, sends them flying. But what's so special about qcf+4? What makes it so we can do this cross up? First off, I do need to demonstrate that with the quarter circle, you can do the move immediately. You can even do it anytime up until when Nina stands up again. At the last moment you see her stand up, you can still do a qcf+4. Okay, to get a better understanding of this move and how it works, let's have a little bit of a look at tracking. So, for example, in this setup, you end with a while standing 1. If I do that normally, you'll notice Nina just goes to the side. The last kick tracks a little bit, but the rest she'll just, well, oh, sorry. She just goes off in the wrong direction. Likewise, if we go quick roll right, she just goes right past them, okay? So in that regard, we consider this move quite linear. It's never been praised for its tracking at all. But this is where Akuma comes in. This is where I want to demonstrate something with Akuma. So that move there, it has no active hurt box. So what that means is I'll do a physical attack, it goes right through Akuma. So why have I done this? It's because I want to demonstrate something about qcf+4. qcf+4, if I do it, see how it turns around and chases? So it may not track very well to the side, but it does turn around 180 degrees. And why is this relevant? Well, for the cross-up, of course. So to get this cross-up to work, what we're essentially doing is we're getting Nina to register as being on the other side. So you could say for a fraction of time Nina's actually back-turned. And while she's back-turned, the qcf+4 turns around to chase the opponent. So that's how that works. That's how we're going to get this cross up to work. So how do we do that? I mean, we've got to get it so Nina appears on the other side of the opponent So we've got to try and get her to advance as quickly as possible and get the right timing. It makes sense, of course, a dash. Fortunately, you don't have to do any sort of dash cancels. You just have to do a dash into a quarter circle forward. With the quarter circle forward, like I showed before, there's plenty of timing that you can do the quarter circle forward for. I've had the most success as soon as you see Nina reach her lowest point, you press the 4. As soon as she bobs right down, you press the 4, and that gets the timing right. So what we're going to do is, okay, any juggle at all that allows you to end in a while standing one, whether that be something like that, whether it be something like that, whether it be, whether it be something like, okay, whether it be something like this, or even something like that. So that's how we're going to end it. As long as we end in a while standing one, the number of hits doesn't really matter. And as long as the opponent is checking left. Then once we've done the while standing one, we're going to do a dash quarter circle forward 4. And when Nina reaches her lowest point, we're going to press the 4. Lowest point of the quarter circle forward. And that's when we'll get the cross up. Okay, so let's see if we can get this to work in a juggle. That side, and let's look at the other side too. There you go. Woohoo! Okay, so it's important for me to mention once again that this only works if they tick left. If they tick right, or if they do anything else, it's not going to hit. I'm not going over all the different Oki today, but let's say they don't tick at all. There's a very common Nina setup that you remember people use in Tekken 6 for like a mini juggle reset. So for example, down 2. So if we do that again, just so you see, it won't tailspin because it's just a mini juggle, but that is something you could do. So if you've conditioned the opponent and they're looking and they're going, oh no, every time I tick they're picking me up with this quarter circle forward 4 cross up, then I mean what you could do is if you see they're not ticking, you can suddenly do a down 2 and just get a relaunch. And I mean there's no reason you couldn't use that relaunch to go right back into that setup again, or any other Oki you want to. It's kind of tricky to get this to work. You really need to have a read on the opponent. You need to be able to see which way they're ticking. You need to already have that download, or you can just go for it and see what happens, because I mean you don't know unless you try. But it's one of those situations you've really got to look at your opponent's movements, see what they do when they get knocked down, and act accordingly. I think that's it. I think that's everything we'll go through for Nina's quarter circle forward 4 and the mid-screen cross-up for today. I hope you guys have found this helpful. I hope that this has given you a bit more of an understanding of how it works, and can actually help you figure out some of your own tech as well, and some of your own setups. Nina's not the only character with a move like this, so other characters can do it too. You just have to try and figure it out. As always, thank you for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe. I'm always going to make new content on YouTube as long as I can. Let me know if there's anything you'd like me to do. You can also follow me on Twitter at @AFriendlyTree. And I'm happy to discuss anything through Twitter if you like. Well, anything fighting game related at least. Thanks guys, take it easy. See you next time.